Okay, so today I'm going to overview your Dragon Eyes project. So this should be your first or one of your first projects in the 7th grade art class. And the objective for this is that you guys are going to create and use a guideline for the creative process. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So the outline of the lesson, you've got the project overview, which is what I'm doing right now. And then we're going to talk about value, and you're going to watch the short video that goes over the element of art value. We're focusing on this element of art for this project, so I want to make sure you understand it completely. And then we're going to create some value scales where we practice making dark and light shades and transitioning from dark to light shades. We're also going to be dealing with texture a little bit in this project, so we're going to do a little activity with texture plates. And if you are virtually doing this activity, I will give you specific instructions on how to do the texture plates activity. Then I'm going to help you create your checklist or your guide. Like I said, the objective is that you're going to use a guide and you're going to also be the person creating it. So we're going to talk about what needs to be on that checklist. You're going to talk about what you specifically want on that checklist. And you're going to use that checklist to help you make sure your artwork is as good as you can get it to meet the requirements for this project, which is mainly going to have to do with different values. So dark and light areas of the artwork. Then we're going to do the Dragon Eye demo where I show you how to draw a dragon eye. Then you're going to start drawing your own. And then, of course, we're going to have the artist statement at the end. So that's just where you explain to me, what you did, how you got it to look a certain way, what was difficult, what was easy, things like that. Basically, just your reflection of the artistic process. Okay, so I know we've talked about most of these words before, but terms that you need to know are value, which you should know by now is the lightness or darkness of tones or colors. So we're just dealing with pencil with this project, so it's just going to be tones of gray. Value can be used to create depth. That's one of the things that we're going to be doing in this project. We're also going to be dealing with scale, so that refers to the size of an object in relation to other objects. And then we have texture. So in art, it's the way something looks like it might feel. And we're going to be using texture to make the dragon scales around the dragon eye. Okay, so I added in a little bit of like some stories about dragons, just in case you guys wanted to read them. You are a little bit in control of what your dragon eye looks like. So if you want the eye to look like a certain type of dragon, maybe you want an evil dragon, maybe you want a nice one, whatever. These stories could give you inspiration for that. I'm not going to read them now, but they're in your slides, so you can look at them. Then I also have some pictures here. So I thought it would be beneficial to have those little stories about dragons and some images here just to give you a little bit of inspiration on, what kind of dragon eye you want to do. Let's see if I can get, there we go. Okay, so for the actual drawing, some things to consider are, of course, value and texture, like we said. So you can see there's lots of different values in this example image here, lots of light areas and lots of dark areas, and they're doing a pretty good job at blending between those two. And then we have lots of different textures. So yours may not have as many different textures as there are here, but I wanted to show you this specific example because it has different variations of texture. So you've got this rough texture down here. The eye looks pretty smooth. We have a different kind of texture here. It looks like wrinkles under the eye. We've got different types of scales. You also want to make sure you're being very detailed, okay? So you want to make sure you're being detailed throughout the whole drawing. You don't want one area to look like you didn't really pay any attention to it. And then, of course, space. So you don't want things too close together or too far apart, okay? So you want to make sure you're spacing things out appropriately and making sure things are the right scale. So you don't want the eye to be super small where you can't really see it and it's just a whole bunch of scales. So I would say this example has a pretty good handle on scale. The eyeball's in the middle, it looks like it's the appropriate size, and everything looks correct. And that's it.